one small factor that's something that we didn't talk about is Godly's Rayman, a pick that really came out to play in doubles of all game modes at the very start, and it's been a long time since we've seen him lock it in singles as a starting pick.
Yeah, so this is really interesting. He gets to keep the gauntlets from his Chun-Li, except now he shifts over to his off weapon not being the long-range spear, but an axe, which has pretty long range and hits like a truck.
Yes, you get the signature kit as well that doubles up as a recovery tool, and as long as you think, like, well, my spear and my scythe aren't really doing that much, you might as well go over to a character that can get that one really strong hit here and there if you're getting those neutral interaction wins. And this might be what Godly determined is what he needs to play to be able to fight against a monster such as MegD.
I just had a funny thought.
What's that?
You know, maybe if Godly's thinking, hey, I got punished for my Chun-Li down signature a bunch. What if I could move it?
Oh, yeah.
The Rayman down signatures are steerable during the hover.
And it reaches over the edge of the stage. It's even better. But the ground pound is also steerable during the hover.
Sure is.
When you're playing on gauntlets. And that's going to take Godly off the bottom right side of the stage. And now the nairs from MegD are coming through twice in a row. Tacks on some damage, avoids the recovery from Godly, but he reversals that Sair, gets the weapon throw, and the D-like ground pound will return the favor. Godly evens it up 2-2.
Godly has been so clutch with those all day today against pretty much every opponent that he has played. He always goes for the gravity cancel downlight into the wall. Lores was able to kind of eke out ahead of that because he usually recovers wide, so Godly ends up going into the wall and nothing.
Yeah.
But here, MegD, he usually recovers inside, and Godly, that's where he found the knockout.
Yeah, really well played by Godly in that case as well. We're seeing some of these landing down airs. You get that slightly different animation and hitbox coverage. And if you get the backswing of landing dare, it can combo into downlight, and sometimes you can even get a lucky sidelight off of it if your opponent's not paying attention. But Godly right now just covering his landings with the endlights, and there's that down sig. MegD ready for it, gets the nair. Godly forced to recover the other side of Demon Island.
Smart.
An option you only have on a few stages here in the map set, but Demon Island is one without that pillar, so he has that option to go for, and he takes it graciously. Sidelight Nair will give him a solid lead, and one falling sider could do it, but can he find it? MegD very good at avoiding those attacks in these situations.
Oh, big side air.
And I guess when MegD does just jump into it, it's a good way of connecting that move. That was a great sider coming out from Godly.
Yeah, gets to deny the space, and listen, you don't need to hit that many of them to score the knockout. So it's definitely less interactions that you need to win in neutral.
Yeah, and this was something and I talked a little bit about with you previously too. When you have somebody who's using dash landing in the way that MegD's doing, Axe kind of succeeds. Nice side stick from MegD. It succeeds in by having such a long-lasting hitbox like that Axe Neutralite, you could catch people in the middle of their transit if they're just trying to mix you up with their movement. And Godly has already gotten a few of those here, but we're back to an even game in game number 1.
Yeah, it is. It bodes well that we didn't have an absolute blowout after all the momentum that MegD had from that last set.
Yeah, although I'm always hesitant with MegD game 1s. I really am. We're going to have to see how this plays out here. Godly now dashing forward, dashing back. MegD not crossing up MegD quite as brutally, just trying to stay right in front of him and trying to catch a gauntlet end light in case Godly enters in. But Godly is fully committed to the axe here. He's using the neutral light multiple times. One falling Sair, ground pound could do it, but the dare ends up hitting the landing hitbox, and he baits him with the side sig to be able to hit the end light afterwards. But Godly, risk of getting reversal there. MegD going unarmed, can't find a weapon.
Huge lead, and MegD can't afford to get hit by pretty much anything stronger than a neutral light. And side signature definitely is for the game 1 win.
Yeah, really well played by Godly there. Gets the side sig. And really leaned into his axe play towards the end of that game. He picked up an axe, he just did not want to let it go. The gauntlets came through, and it basically just doubled up as like a grounded axe side air, the way he was using that side sig. Yeah. He's like, yeah, you could charge Rayman side sig, you could get some more distance on it as well as a little bit more power, but he was just letting that go as like a really quick light attack, and the power is still there. And now we actually see a counter pick to Miami Dome after the Demon Island game did not go well.
Interesting.
So here we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. If that deadlight hit, that was it. That was terrifying. You rarely ever see somebody that high off the top of the stage. I guess Miami Dome platforms let you go up that way, but man, that was terrifying.
I was ready for it to just end all there, you know?
Whoa.
Back to stage select. Next game.
Yeah. If you lose your stock in 5 seconds, it's like, what? MegD going in for that downlight after that really critical start. And it's a lot closer despite how terrifying that could have been. And in terms of a lead for Godly. And now both players are like a hit away. Godly going for the edge guard there. MegD misses that sider.
Did he
Godly,
spend too much?
Yeah, I mean, regardless of whether he spent too much, when you ground pound and you miss the wall and you can't go under Miami Dome to get to the other side, you're cooked. It's really hard to get back from the stage in that situation.
Yeah, that's definitely a bit of the change. We saw Godly kind of use that last game to go around. That probably played a bit of the decision in the map here.
Yeah, and that would probably be why MegD favors Fortress of Lions over Apocalypse most of the time when the single plat stages are there too. Because I've noticed that we've both been talking about how MegD's edge guards have been really great as long as he doesn't have to worry about that factor, right? When he can just chase people either under or away from the stage.
Right.
And it came into play there. And now it's given MegD a lead, albeit a very small one, now that Godly's been able to even things up.
Trying to control as much space as possible with those giant axe swings.
Yeah, backswing of the Dare doing pretty well there. MegD only being able to get a pummel here or there. Falling side air, will tack on some damage, and Godly on the axe. Once again, just holding center and being like, okay, I'm going to wait for you to do this dash jump stuff, and then I'm either going to anti-air you with downlight, or I'm going to end-light you when you land. But MegD does manage to get through. Oh, wrong way.
Yeah, he's been converting this into a steady damage lead. It hasn't happened in like these big explosions, but just the chip damage over time.
Ooh, weapon throw forward, tries to go for a pickup downer. Second dare hits in the nair, does a dash jump, tries to get the sidelight afterwards, but no, MegD gets out, goes for the recovery, but this has been all of Godly's damage so far. That was amazing. Nair into dash forward, dash pivot, sidelight. Get the side
charged it for the extra distance that time.
Yeah, so you can't do a full charge off of a gravity cancel, but you can do like a half charge that will get you the different properties of a move that has that.
It gets you to that stage 2.
And Godly got to that stage 2, got the power, got the distance, and completely caught MegD off guard. Now up a whole stock against MegD here. And MegD with that pummel would probably need another hit before Gauntlet recovery would knock out. Maybe Sword recovery would do it, maybe off of a downlight. But that sidelight there and the ground pound, okay, that one from that distance will do it. And just like that, Godly is now 1-1 with MegD in game 2.
So there were a lot of previous games against different opponents that MegD would control space with that sword neutral light, and the opponent would either dodge into them or dash into it and get hit by that sword neutral light near the tail end of it. Oh, wait a minute.
Nair end light into the sidelight nair, side air, means that Godly just took a ton of damage. Godly's like, okay, I don't want to fight the Gauntlet Ditto anymore. He goes back over to the axe, but MegD's got him cornered to the side of the stage. If Godly takes center, I give Godly a good chance of being able to take this game too. But he's got him off the side. He's trying to end light MegD's approaches onto the air, and MegD is actually going in. Gets the dash pivot side light. Off that dash land, nicely done. Tries to get the sidelight again. At the very tail end of it, hits the glove. All three connect. Has to dodge the weapon throw. Can MegD make it back? He can't. Kicked out of the way. That's going to be a game 2 win for Godly, and one more game for North America to be out at third, and for Godly to get that rematch against Lores.
That was absolutely huge. Turning on the gas for the little bit of the comeback there. And I just absolutely love cutting the perfect angle with the Gauntlet's down signature. Firing those boxing gloves and just getting around the corner.
All right, Godly has found a game plan that works against MegD, and that's been 2 games that MegD has not been able to adapt. This could be Godly's victory, and in fact, he could get a 3-0 over MegD if it continues this way. MegD's sword is not doing any work. It has been all the gauntlets. I don't know if we'll see the really rare MegD switch, although he has shown that he has a Petra. He's beaten.
True.
He has beaten Radish with it. But I mean, I don't see him off this character very often. So
3, 2,
we're going to Brawlhalla for game number 3. So this is like another stage that I've given a lot of favor to MegD, and people just usually don't leave it open for him. And this is one that I think Godly is very willing to go to. So we're going here for game number 3, and let's see if this is what MegD needs. A small stage to take some really early stocks, because at this point, Godly's axe is looking too tough for MegD to handle.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big part of this here, right? Because you were talking about this being another flat stage. It really serves MegD's game plan and the way he was served. But Godly having that axe side air is going to knock out so early.
Yeah, and
so that's a lot of variance.
And Rayman's side signature on gauntlets isn't normally something that we're used to talking about, but he's been using that against MegD's playstyle very well, especially when it's that dash forward, dash back.
Yes.
And then the walls here are not covered by Val's side sig or end sig nearly as well as the other stages that MegD tends to favor. So we'll see how that plays out. It's game 3. Godly wins this, and he's in grand finals against Lores. MegD, however, has to win 3 games in a row to stay in it. Who's going to take the first stock here? Godly has a good argument for taking it here if that end light hits. Can he get the edge guard? The clash is huge, and MegD doesn't touch the wall. It just drifts right off the left side of the stage.
Oh my gosh. So this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier, where Godly was using that Axe Neutral Light to outspace a lot of MegD's attacks. Where MegD usually controls space with the Sword Neutral Light, Godly just kind of waits right outside that distance and then answers back with his longer range Axe Neutral Light.
Yeah, and he doesn't immediately respond to the first bout of movement that MegD goes for. Oh no, the reversal of dares. MegD can get the ground pound here, goes for it, but Godly gets the reversal on the dare, and MegD dodges a little...
that bonk was scary.
A little scary, yeah. Ends up having wall slip activate twice there. Godly does get back to stage, and now this damage, TWK, it might be too much to come back from. That ground pound hits, gets the ground pound unarmed afterwards, and Godly on the verge of a 3-stock over MegD in Game 3 here in the Elimination Final. It's looking grim. Oh, gets the down air, gets the nair afterwards. Weapon throw comes through. MegD has to get something started here. What's it going to be to get the knockout?
Man, this is a tall order. Godly has just been absolutely commanding the entirety of the stage. Those axe swings are massive.
Oh, and Godly goes over the down sig. Recovery not going to knock out just yet. Reversal on the nair. Another nair. Weapon throw pickup. Godly wants that 3-stock so badly. MegD goes in for the down light. Can't quite get it. Neutral light puts MegD deep into orange. Ground pound hits and clashes. The double ground pound. And a complete annihilation against MegD for Game 3 means Godly is going to go into grands.
Wow, that's gotta feel great. The only person to defeat you in the round robin, you get the run back chance and get to knock them out of the bracket.
Yeah, that's how serious Godly is about this weekend. I am pleasantly surprised and a little happy to be wrong about...